This video is sponsored by PoketownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck, or just to get the latest booster packs in town like Crowns in It, for example. They literally have everything, and you can use the coupon code ZapDosTCG for 5% off your order. This video is also sponsored by CARDMARKET.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can use the referral name ZapDosTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by PLAYMAT.com. This is a platform where you're able to upload your favorite wallpaper and they turn it into a beautiful playmat. You can now have 10% off your order by clicking the link down below, and they ship worldwide, so definitely check it out. Last but certainly not least is going to be DragonShield.com. Dragon Shield is the best brand to protect your beautiful cards, and they have the best quality sleeves available, and you can of course check it out by clicking the links down below. They have sleeves, binders, and deck boxes of the best quality around. I use them in every single tournament, and you guys should do the exact same thing. Thank you a lot for sticking around with the commercials, and enjoy the video. Peace. Sup YouTube, it's ZapDosTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. As today we are actually going to be talking about the Taiwan regionals and the Thailand regionals that actually happened last week. So we have of course a lot of information here with of course 1,738 players over in Taiwan. I know it's going to be best of one, but these are post-rotation results that we definitely need to take a look at, because EOIC is coming up and I still currently don't know what I'll be playing. I tested a lot of post-rotation already. There's a lot of deck lists up on my channel, so if you're looking for a post-rotation deck of your choice or a tier list, anything of that sort, you can find over on my channel. So let's check out the top 16 of both of those regionals that happened. So first of all, we have Kenshin with Lost Zone Box getting first place. Let's check out this list, shall we? Okay, what can we see here? Let's just make sure you guys can follow along with me. Okay, let's just take a quick work of a little sponsor over here, so we have the full glance on what this deck is all about. As we see here, it is a Lost Zone variant with Dragonite. Of course, we already know that Azul popularized Dragonite V in the Lost Zone box in the Crowns in It / Silver Tempest format, but now we do see in post-rotation beach cards are becoming super prevalent. Be of course having the free retreat on your com phase to use flower selecting and then turn into another com phase. Super cool. We of course see one Collapse Stadium in there. This is a very strange pick for me, because Collapse Stadium is going to be nice if you start with Drapion, Raikou, Lumineon, or Dragonite, that you can get rid of that 2-price liability. Very cool. Also, like, you can Lumineon, find colors, instantly slap down the Collapse Stadium and get rid of that Lumineon, which is something I really love about this specific list. It's also a turbo list playing 2/4 Seal Stones. This helps out a ton, because with 4 Seal Stone you can sometimes find Colress instantly. Sometimes you can also use it to find Lost Vacuum. There's 3 copies of Lost Vacuum in here, so it's pretty much a turbo build of Lost Zone Box, trying to get to that 7 count of Mirage Gate as quickly as possible. Only 1 Cramorant. As you can see, it's super turbo like, because you want to have like maybe turn 1 going for that insane Mirage Gate capabilities. Like a turn 1 Dragonite is not unheard of with this kind of a deck. You still have access to Drapion. This version of the list is not playing Sky Seal Stone, so Drapion is not going to be taking 4 prize cards on UV Max in this list, but it's a very, very solid list, very consistent as well, seeing as you can just use Lost Vacuum on stuff like your stadiums, which you're running 3 of, or on your 4 Seal Stone as well to get to that number. So flower selecting, Colors' Experiment already gets you to 4, then a Lost Vacuum gets you to 6, and then maybe you're going to be using a second copy of Lost Vacuum or a third copy of Comfey to get to 7 on turn 1. So a very solid list, getting of course first place. As to a little bit of a note down here, that Sableye is just such a busted Pokemon right now, with ScoopUpNet having left the format, and Sableye is pretty much free to do what it wants to do. Moving forward, the second place list from Shen Wai Huang was also a Lost Zone box. Let's take a little bit of a look of how this Lost Box deck was looking like. Okay, they actually got second place. This is what the list looked like. Let's just make sure we can follow along here all together. So let's just open this up. Opening up a little bit like this. I don't know if you can, yeah, probably have to lower it down a little bit, because all of these websites are not the same, so we have to make sure we can see everything. Underneath me, there's just a couple of cards that are actually missing. So for that purpose, let's just zoom out a little bit further and move it to the side so we can see hopefully everything. So this is kind of a list that relies on 2 fighting type energies. So we do see that Galarian Zapdos, yeah, there we go, seeing the entire 60. So what do we see here? 4 Comphase, 2 Cramorant, 2 Sableye, the classic norm. We do see an Yveltal here. Yveltal is allowing you to, of course, discard up to 3 special energies from the opponent's side of the field. I don't know if it's going to be that relevant, but it could help out against the Lugia matchup, which seems to be still around. This list is also playing 2 copies of Manaphy. This is very interesting because Manaphy is very prevalent in the mirror match, with Radiant Greninja being one of the strongest attackers in that matchup. We also see Lumineon in here, Drapion V, Galarian Zapdos V, and they are playing the Sky Seal Stone. The cool thing with Galarian Zapdos V is that you can uptrade on stuff like Arceus VSTAR, take that additional prize card, or you can knock on an Regieleki VMAX to take that additional prize card as well. There is also 1 Hawlucha in here, allowing you to put 1 damage counter on 2 of the opponent's bench Pokemon. Helps out a ton with Lost Mine. There is 1 physical copy of Switch, then 3 ropes, 4 Switch cards, and then there are, I don't know if this is correct, but it's playing a lot of Ultra Ball. I don't know if Ultra Ball is the best way to go about this, but Ultra Ball also allows you to get like any card. Maybe it's just 3 Nuzball and 1 Ultra Ball. I think that's the way, right? I think that's the way, like 3 Nuzball and 1 Ultra Ball. So that is the list. There is 2 copies of Raihan in here, 2 copies of Clara, so a lot of rainbow Pokemon, and also a copy of the Roxanne. So Color's Experiment, probably the best one of the bunch. You have a Boss's Orders, then 2 Raihan and 2 Clara. Interesting for sure. It's a little bit hard to see, but this is pretty much a build that is relying on Radiant Greninja being one of your main attackers. The list is also playing 2 copies of the Fighting Energy, allowing Galarian Zapdos to attack out of nowhere. I don't know how good Galarian Zapdos will be in the Western world. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of Arceus lovers out there, or if Miraidon EX will be that popular with Regieleki VMAX. The Sky Seal Stone is definitely great to uptrade, definitely with Drapion and Galarian Zapdos V being able to utilize that. Moving forward, 3rd place is Ulun. No, it's a Chi Yu Tang with Gardevoir EX. And now I'm very curious to see that Gardevoir EX list. Let's just follow along here. And this is a little bit of a cleaner view on how the deck is looking like. A little bit low quality, I would say, but hopefully you guys can follow along at home. We do see behind me is 1 Collapse Stadium, by the way. So we do see 1 Mew, 2 Gardevoir EX, 3 Shining Arcana Gardevoirs. There's a Mirage Step Kirlia here, allowing you to, of course, duplicate and get some Kirlias into play when you're having a slower start. Zacian V from Celebrations is very strong in combination with that Sky Seal Stone to uptrade. There's Cresselia for the Lost Box matchup to, of course, spread a little bit of damage here and there. Nobody's playing the Champions Festival, as it is a little bit of an exclusive card, but Temple of Sinnoh and Collapse Stadium are doing wonders in a deck like this. It's very consistent. 3 Fog Crystals, 4 Battle VIP Pass, 4 Lava Ball, 2 Ultra Ball, 3 Rare Candy, getting everything into place, and then a lot of 1-off supporters, which you can get back with Palpad, including Miriam as your recovery Pokemon card, as well as Clara, then a Worker, Balsazor, Serena, Avern, and then 3 copies of Judge. So Judge seems to be the way they try to like make the Lost Box players have a bad hand, low hand size, and 2 emergency jellies in here as well. So Gardevoir is doing well, pretty interesting. Then 4th place is Ulun with another Lost Box deck. Let's see here. All of these lists are pretty much all the way over on Twitter, so if you want to follow along, I'm actually visiting the website PokeStats, so if you guys want to know. So another Lost Box deck, 3 copies here. It's very similar to the list I've been playtesting with a lot. Sky Seal Stone there, 2 Vacuums, by the way, so 2 Lost Vacuums, 2 Raihans as well, no Pokegears, as I see. I love the addition of Pokegear in the Lost Zone box decks, but they do implement the 3 attackers in combination with Sky Seal Stone, being that Drapion, Galarian Zapdos V, and Raikou, all in full art version, very cool. There's a Roxanne in there, a Balsazor, and doubling up on the Clara. So double Clara seems to be the mainstay, definitely to get back your Manaphy in the mirror match, but also to get back the Sableye in the late game, as maybe one of your attackers like Drapion or Galarian Zapdos V as well. So things we've seen before. This list is opting to only play 10 energies, so 10 energies in total, and of course also playing that 2 copies of Energy Recycler. So instead of going for like more Mirage Gates, they cut down on a Mirage Gate, and then they added in another copy of Lost Vacuum to get to that 7 count to get Mirage Gate used more oftenly. So maybe with 3 stadiums and 2 vacuums, the list is fast enough. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about 5th place Lugia single strike box with Lin Wii U. So as mentioned, this is a tournament with over 1,700 players. So very crazy for sure. Let's check out that Lugia list, shall we? So this Lugia list, I don't know if you can see it completely. Let's just move a little bit to this side. Okay. What do we see here is a 4-3 line of Lugia VSTAR. So they are no longer playing a 3-2 line. So that's something that happens post-rotation. Also, Burnett seems to be a mainstay in the deck, as well as 2 copies of Lumineon, and then that Radiant Serena to heal up a little bit. Radiant Serena in combination with V-Guard energy makes Lugia V-Star very, very tanky. The thing I'm missing out on in this list is Dunsparce. So without Dunsparce, Raikou and the Sky Seal Stone is definitely going to be eating up against this Lugia. But on the other hand, they wanted to go for more Ball Engine cards. There's 4 Ultra Ball, there's 2 Nazball, 4 Capturing Aroma, and there's still 3 copies of that new stadium card that allows you to flip a coin of heads, get yourself a Pokemon. So that is also something that is in this list. 2 copies of Judge, copy of Chair and Scare, that could be helping out. Like if they can't find ways to one-shot your Lugia with the V-Guard energy, there could be a way you can Chair and Scare, which is super nice. You can fetch that out with Lumineon, which is also super cool. On the other hand, 3 Research, Zinnia's Resolve also seems to find its way in this list, and only 2 copies of the Urns. It is running the regenerative energy, allowing you to, of course, heal up a Lugia when they get like spit on with a Cramorant. You can heal 100 damage if you evolve, if that energy is attached, and then 2 copies of Tyranitar V to actually do some havoc here and there and one-shot almost anything in the game. The cool thing is that this list is also running Single Strike Yveltal. That's mostly used against decks that are weak against Darkness. Think about Gardevoir EX. You can be using a 1-price Pokemon to, of course, slaughter a Pokemon like that. So that's pretty cool for sure. Also Collapse. Collapse seems to be in a lot of lists these days. Moving forward, there is another Lugia single strike box with Sean, 6th place. Let's check that out as we move along here. I'd like to see these physical deck profiles for sure. Okay, this is a little bit big. Let's lower it down a little bit so we can see all the cards here. Okay, here we are. So, yeah, again, 4-3 line of Lugia V-Star seems to be the thing. 2 Tyranitar, again, Radiant Serena, Stonejourner, and Yveltal. So these lists are looking very, very similar. This list is running 3 copies of the Urn, and also is playing that alt art, that new full art for Professor's Research. Then Burnett, Judge, only 1 Judge in here, so they opted to go for 4 Research and 3 Boss's Order. So no Serena in this list. They went just full on Professor's Research and try to get those Archeops in that discard pile. And that new stadium card, I don't know what it is called, but yeah, it is also still part of the deck. And also this list is running Lucky Energy instead of the Regenerative Energy, so pretty cool for sure. Lugia still doing well. I know there's a lot of people that out there don't like Lugia with the Silver Tempest format and crowns in it, but Lugia is still around, 7th place, still another Lugia. Shi Ting with Lugia single strike box. Is there something different about this specific list? Let's just take a look at it, shall we? Still no Dunsparce. Seems to be like nobody respects Raikou V and Lost boxes. Still 1 Judge, 3 Boss's Orders. This is very similar to the list. Maybe they are playing the exact 60, right? If we take a look at this list and this list, it's almost the exact same, I would say. 4 Research as well. Yeah, this pretty much is the exact 60. So Lugia still doing well. Then we have Nibaba with Mew VMAX and the Flying Pikachu VMAX. As we mentioned here, Flying Pikachu as a little bit of a stay. Oh yeah, the side is not reachable right now, but Mew VMAX with Flying Pikachu also got 8th place. Cool. We have Giratina V-Star with Liu Xiang with 9th place here. Let's see if we can finish watching that deck list. Yeah, we do see it. Let's just have a little bit of a clearer view on what is being played here. So, wow, Tropius with the rally back, 120 damage, and if you got knocked out during the last turn, you slapped 90 damage. This is actually pretty cool to knock out Tyranitar V. Tyranitar V could sometimes be a little bit of a pain, but with Tropius in the format, you can be sure with the Choice Belt and all that good stuff, you can one-shot Tyranitar V. How cool is that? You also have the Lugia to ping 2 damage counters on 2 of the opponent's bench Pokemon, so 1 on each, and then with the help of Sableye, you can take additional prize cards. A 3-3 line of Giratina V-Star is definitely necessary if you're not playing Ultra Ball in your list. That means you will manually draw into them with Flower Selectings or Colors as Experiment. This list is running a 4 Seal Stone, so sometimes when you don't need to use that Star Requiem, you can go for that 4 Seal Stone, grab yourself a little bit like a Lost Vacuum or that Roxanne when the time's right, so you can get a little bit faster with that, of course, getting cards in the Lost Zone, or disrupt the opponent with Roxanne. Roxanne and Temple of Sinnoh hurt Lugia VSTAR decks quite a bit post-rotation, which is very, very good for sure. So Giratina also doing well, and I'm not sure if the Choice Belt is nice, but the Choice Belt does help to, of course, hit 310 with Lost Impact as well. Only one Clara and one Sableye. That's a little bit risky in my part because I think Sableye is one of the strongest attackers post-rotation. Moving forward, let's talk about Du Qingtai with the Palkia VSTAR and Ice Rider build actually getting 10th place. The URL signature expired, so we cannot check that out, that list, unfortunately. But Palkia, 10th place, sure. Next is Wang Hu with Arceus VSTAR, Giratina VSTAR, and Flying Pikachu. Also, the link has expired, unfortunately. Next is another Arctina with Hu Xingqian with Flying Pika. I think we can check out that list. Perfect. So Arceus VSTAR with the Giratina VSTAR and the 1-1 line of Flying Pikachu VMAX. Even though Big Parasol has rotated, Flying Pikachu is still a menace to be reckoned with, definitely combined with 3 copies of Judge and a Path to the Peak. If you're able to use Max Balloon time and time again, and the Lost Box player is not able to respond in time, even though they're playing a lot of escape ropes here and there, if you have like a lone Flying Pikachu VMAX, there's gonna be a lot of trouble for the opponent right here. I would love to implement like 1 copy of the Cheren Scare in this list somehow, some way, but this is a nice 60 to get yourself started. Drapion helps against Mew VMAX. Radiant Gardevoir with V-Guard Energy makes your Arceus VSTAR and the Giratina VSTAR are very, very tanky monsters that the opponent sometimes doesn't have answers for. So Arctina, and this is probably one of the fewer lists that play Path to the Peak and Judge in such a high count, except for like maybe Mew VMAX, but Arctina is still an archetype that is doing well. Then another Lugia list on the 13th spot with Shi Xiaoqin. And this Lugia list is actually very similar to what we've seen before, right? 1 Drapion, 2 Tyranitar V, 2 Stonejourner, so they're not playing the Yveltal, instead they're playing an additional copy of the Stonejourner here, and everything. Yeah, there's a Roxanne in this list, and 3 copies of V-Guard, so they want to be making their Lugias very, very tanky. I see in all of these Lugia lists that Radiant Serena is going to be the mainstay for that archetype. Now we have T Ping Chu with Lost Zone Toolbox. Let's see what this Lost Zone Toolbox has to offer that we haven't seen before. Okay. What do we see? Dragonite is part of this deck, so let's just move it along like this. Dragonite, Raikou, Drapion, Lumineon. Okay, these seemingly are the attackers of choice that could utilize no Sky Sealstone. They're playing just very similar to Azul 60 from OCIC with the Forest Sealstone, high amount of vacuums to make sure you can get to that 7 count as quickly as possible. So this seems to be like a very, very consistent list. Not much to say about it. It is doing the job and also has that choice belt so that Dragonite can take KOs on VSTAR Pokemon. Only 1 Cramorant. So most of these Turbo Lost boxes are only playing 1 Cramorant as they want to go for that Mirage Gate option a little bit easier. We have Eason with another Lost Zone Toolbox. Unfortunately, the link is expired. And then an Arctina Flying Pikachu. Is this different than the thing we've seen before? Let's check it out. Okay, this is running Cheren Scare. Yeah, fantastic. This is actually what I wanted to be seeing here. So as you can see here, the list is running Drapion, Pumpkaboo, Radiant Gardevoir. So Radiant Gardevoir seems to be the mainstay in Arctina. And Arctina has the Roxanne, has Double Judge, and has Cheren Scare. So this is a very cool combo. Only 1 copy of Path to the Peak gets myself a little bit concerned because I would love a higher amount of Path to the Peak so you can abuse that Judge Path combo against a lot of archetypes. But it is playing a 2-2 line of Flying Pikachu VMAX as the additional attacker. So very solid list for sure, and we'll see how the meta will develop. So as we can have a little bit of a run through in Taiwan, Lost boxes were a lot around, as well as Arctina list. Arctina seems to be very popular over in Taiwan, and that actually saw we have Lugia, Arctina, and Lost Box being the most popular list that did well in the top 16 of that specific tournament. Very, very nice to see that. Let's check out the next tournament, and that's only with 495, so pretty similar to something like a special event over in Europe. So about 500 players, and that also includes post-rotation shenanigans. So Thailand and the 18th of March. Let's check out the results of that. So we have, I don't know if I pronounced these correctly, by the way. If I am pronouncing them in the wrong way, excuse me for that. We have Tantawachi Yunyo Swang, something like that. Very cool Lost Box list again. So Lost Box seemingly very strong post-rotation. So we're going to Asia.Pokemon yeah, cards.com. So interesting for sure. So this is the list. Can we see it a little bit closer? Yeah, maybe we should, this is an image, right? Yeah, this is an image. Probably better to just check it out like this. Make it a little bit like this. All right, what can we say? 4 switch cards, 4 escape rope. The Pokemon are a little bit here and there, but we see Snorlax and Zamazenta in this list, so opted to go for Metal Energies in here, so your attackers can become Zamazenta and Snorlax. Also Sky Seal Stone for Drapion and Raikou. They cut Galarian Zapdos and went for more Metal Energies so you can attack with that Zamazenta. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as we've seen before, only 1 copy of Boss's Order. So additional attackers, Snorlax and Zamazenta are both great against specific archetypes. Definitely like against Gardevoir with like the Emergency Jelly. You can hit a fresh healed Shining Arcana Gardevoir for 150 damage. Next up is Pisunu with Arctina. I don't know how we are going to be seeing Arctina this time around. I don't think it's going to be with Flying Pikachu. These are... Okay, let's open it up. These are, I always have to like resize my browser here and there to make sure you guys can follow along at home. For the Switch outs, there is 1 copy of Switch as you can see. Okay, Arctina, Tutu, Bibarel, a Drapion, a Raihan, 4 Colors Experiment. So this is not running on classic research, it's playing 4 Tracking Shoe and 4 Colors Experiment, which sometimes could allow you to attack with Star Requiem, but I doubt it. Let's say you play like a lot of colors at the same time and you lost impact, you could technically activate that, but most of the time you will be using the Star Birth as your V-Star attack, your V-Star power, I would say. Okay, so 2 Path to the Peak, 3 Judge, seems to be like a mainstay, but with 4 Tracking Shoe, you never with that turn 1 attachment on Arceus. So that got 2nd place. Then we have another Lost Toolbox with Satira Tashapan. Yeah, these names, very hard to pronounce. Let's see. Another, yeah, these are all deck lists that we can find from asia.pokemoncard.com. All right, moving forward. Let's see here, another Lost Box. This is very similar to what I've been playtesting with. So we do see the triple combo, Drapion, Galarian Zapdos, Raikou with the Sky Seal Stone. We see 1 Lost Vacuum, 1 Raihan, 3 Pokegear. 3 Pokegear is a little bit much in my book. I would lower that down to 2. And I'm also missing a bigger attacker in the form of Snorlax or Zamazenta. So that's something I would change about this list personally. Then another Lost Box with Danai Budhasuan. Wow. That's actually very hard to pronounce. Let's go 4th place with another Lost Zone box. Okay, Lost Zone boxes are seemingly everywhere. Yeah, this is actually playing the Snorlax and only playing 2 copies of the Pokegear. This is very, I think this is almost the exact 60 that I've been playtesting with throughout these couple of months. 2 copies of Fighting Energy. They definitely don't want to prize that Fighting Energy against specific archetypes. Definitely when Arctina is doing so well, and most of them are not playing Dunsparce. So very cool to see this list. Just a Lost Box again. Then Pede with 5th place Lugia V-Star single strike box. Looks like Lugia is not going anywhere. And I wonder if this list is also going to be implementing that. Yeah, Radiant, Serena, I've already seen it. Double Tyranitar seems to be the norm, by the way. Doubling up on the Tyranitar. And we also see that they are going to go for that regenerative energy to implement the fact that Cramorant can attack turn 1, then you can heal off all that damage. This is playing a 4-4 line of Lugia V-Star. Very, very thick line. 3 urns. 4 aromatic, capturing aroma, that's what it is. And they're not playing that, they're playing 2 of that stadium to get any Pokemon. So, capturing aroma sometimes hit or whiff, that's something I'm a little bit scared of. But with Burnett, you can actually discard your Archeops instantly, and that's where the 4-4 line of our Lugia V-Star really shines. But it seems to be like the lists are getting refined for Lugia. 5th place is Warm Light with Gardevoir EX. Gardevoir EX is, of course, still a very strong archetype, it seems, and people will have to test that out, because if you don't know what to do against a Gardevoir list, you're going to be in trouble. So this is what a list typically looks like. We still see the Worker, so as a way to discard the Path to the Peak, I would say, because this is a little bit weak against Path because of that Psychic Embrace ability. We do see Cresselia, we do see the Mirage Depths. Avery is something you don't see oftenly in Gardevoir, but it does make sense. All of these cards draw you cards. We have, of course, Avern drawing cards, Miriam drawing cards, Worker drawing cards, on top of the Refinement ability of Kirlia. So 2 Emergency Jelly as well as Cresselia gives you at least a chance against Lost Boxes that have a fast start. And with 3 Rare Candy, you definitely get into the game very, very quickly. So very cool for sure. Moving forward, we have Arceus. Arceus with Tina. Yeah, Arctina is back at it again. And the Arctina that we're going to be seeing here, let's see what they're going to be bringing to the table. They are playing Dunsparce. They finally see the writings on the wall with all of these Lost Boxes implementing Galarian Zapdos. So I don't know how many players will actually go and play test with the Dunsparce or not, but this is playing... Wow, this is very strange. Oh yeah, they're playing 2 different Bidoof, so that's what it was. So they're playing the optimal Bidoof with that cannot get damaged on the bench with free retreat. No, not with free retreat, with 1 retreat cost, and they also have the 70 HP Bidoof. Lost Vacuum, I don't know how good that is to knock off maybe Sky Seal Stone when it gets dropped down early, I suppose. Yeah, maybe. We have 4 Path, super strong, and 2 Judges, and 2 Cheer and Scare. I like this list a lot. Definitely with Palpat, you can keep spamming Cheer and Scare or the Judge and specific archetype. So Drapion is definitely a mainstay because Mew seems to be around, but I haven't seen a lot of Mew quite yet. I think like Mew is definitely getting destroyed by all the Drapions in the list, as well as Zacian V from Celebrations with that amazing attack in combination with Sky Seal Stone, as we do see it once again here. A Gardevoir list playing 3 Rare Candy, so does seem to be like 3 Rare Candy is the norm. Also Mew from Celebrations does see a lot of play here, allowing you to, of course, get look at the top 6 cards of your deck and get an item card, so that's seemingly super strong. Roxanne in this list is something I like. And this list is actually, they are all playing Palpat, by the way. So all of these one-off strong supporters like Bossasaurus, Roxanne, Worker, they can get reutilized with a deck like this. Also still playing Mirage Depths, Kirlia. And yeah, this is only playing 1 Emergency Jelly. So these Gardevoir lists, you do get an understanding of how they are working out and what the main lists are looking like. We have Ice Style with Arctina Flying Pika. Arctina Flying Pika seems to be a very popular combo post-rotation, even though, as I mentioned, Big Parasol has rotated. It doesn't always mean that Flying Pika is not strong. So 4 Judge, 2 Path, so the combination between that combo is very strong, and a 1/1 Flying Pikachu. There is that Scovid, little Scovid card, allowing you to, of course, shuffle your hand to your deck, and actually shuffle your hand and put it on the bottom of the deck and then draw 1 card. That's I think that's what it was. So Scovid allow you to dig a little bit deeper, and definitely in combination with B-Barrel, like that combo a lot. If you're looking for that last puzzle piece, maybe you're looking for a Boss's Orders, maybe you're looking for that Cheer and Scare, that's going to be a little bit closer that could bring to you. So then moving forward, another Gardevoir list. So lots of Gardevoir over in Thailand. So Gardevoir EX with Lysadon, 10th place. So Lost Box, Lugia also still around, Arctina, and yeah, Arctina seems to be all over the place, to be honest. Another Gardevoir list. What do we see here as something special? Not really. 3 copies of Judge, only 2 candies, and they added in the Choice Belt. Choice Belt could help Gardevoir EX slap for 210, which could be a number that you sometimes want to be hitting. But it could also help out Zacian V, actually the Gardevoir, the Shining Arcana Gardevoir, to hit bigger numbers, to sometimes even knock out a VMAX Pokemon. So that is definitely something you could utilize. But the main archetypes have become refined, and Mirage Tape seems to be, and Mirage Taps, Kirlia seems to be in a lot of lists as of late. Then we have 11th place with Origin form Dialga VSTAR with Magnezone, the most unique list that came from the Thailand regionals, and we are here to witness the beauty of this specific deck. Did you know that we get the Magnemite from Scarlet and Violet that is, of course, 60 HP? that allows, yeah, it is a lightning type, so we can fetch that out with Miraidon, and that's how this deck shines. You use Miraidon, get 2 Magnamines out, you play so many energies that sometimes when you evolve into Magnezone, you can accelerate those energies onto your Dialga VSTAR, attack with Chronostar, and then go attack again. Adamant is here, discarding 2 Metal Energies and get yourself 2 item cards, Rare Candy, Ultra Ball, you name it, you can definitely make it happen. And with stuff like Torton, you don't even need Dialga on your first turn. Sometimes Luminion, Torton, and instantly evolve and slap. You KO stuff with the Dialga V-Star. Rotom V allowing you to draw cards. There's also a couple of lightning energies in here because there's a Magnezone EX in here with 330 freaking HP, which is humongous. The cool thing is that you're not playing that many V Pokemon, so stuff like Galarian Zapdos might have it hard against stuff like the Magnezone EX, but I love the creativity post-rotation with a list like this. Love that. Okay, moving forward, we have Ice with Lawstone Box Kyogre. Yeah, Kyogre seems to be still a card in the format that people need to be worried about because it's taking additional prize cards. Definitely when Manaphy is not that easily recoverable because they need to rely on stuff like the Clara to get it back. Haven't seen a lot of Rescue Carrier in the Lost Box, so this is what it looks like. Very similar to what we've seen before. Very standing out card is Medicham with that Yoga Loop, putting 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If you knock something out, it's back to you, so you can have some checkmate position where you can, of course, Yoga Loop into the fantastic Kyogre attack. So you can spread damage with Sableye. Then the following turn, Yoga Loop instantly into the Kyogre to sweep the field. So I love to see that strategy. 3 random Trekking Shoes in here, 3 Lost Vacuums. So instead of going for Pokegears, this list is going for Trekking Shoes to dig a little bit deeper through the deck. I don't know what I prefer most, I would say. You definitely need to find Color's Experiment, and with 3 Trekking Shoes, 2 Forest Sealstone, this is definitely the turbo mode to, of course, dig through your deck as quickly as possible to, of course, use Kyogre and the Aqua Storm attack. Okay, Giratina Lost Box with Mr. Clear, 13th place with Giratina V-Star and the Lost Zone Engine. The thing about the Lost Zone Engine is, of course, that it seems to be Arctina is more popular, but this is still a very solid 60. And this is something I actually uploaded on my channel, I would say, except for like, I'm only playing 1 Boss's Orders and I added something else in the list. But this list is just solid. 2 Sableye, 2 Cramorant, 3 tree line of Giratina V-Star. They added in Luminion though. Luminion could help to find that Roxanne or that Boss or that Colors when the time is right. Only 1 Energy Recycler, a little bit scary, but I think it's sufficient because Giratina can actually get a lot of prize cards against multiple prize Pokemon. Okay, where are the Claras? That's the only thing I'm concerned about. They are playing 5 Psychic Energies, 4 Grass, 4 Water, but I don't see Clara anywhere, so that's my little bit of a concern. When there's too many cards that gets knocked out like a Sableye, it's not going to be easy to get them back. Then we are going to be talking about another Lost Box with Princess Nishi. That is the name, Lost Box. And let's see what this Lost Box has to bring to the table. Oh, it is a very unique Lost Box utilizing the one and only Galarian Moltres with the Malevolent Charge ability to, of course, slap for huge damage with Moltres. Moltres very great, of course, against Mew VMAX, but also very great against Gardevoir EX. Both of those are weak to darkness. The deck is playing Canceling Cologne, which is very huge because the deck is also playing 2 Boss's Orders. If you boss up a Manaphy, use Canceling Cologne, and use Radiant Greninja, you're going to be up trading against mirror matches quite easily. There is, of course, that Crabominable, which is able to KO the biggest of walls. You can just utilize the Sableye to spread damage or just slap with Spit innocently and then go into that Crabominable very quickly to just swoop the field. So 2 Pokegear and 2 Clara, that's the way I like it in Lost Boxes, and they're also playing that Snorlax. So unique list for sure. Don't underestimate this 1 prize Galarian Moltres as in the late game. It is able to slap 270 damage, and if you set your damage counters right with Sableye, that could be winning the game. So only Crabominable as the 2 prize Pokemon in here. You don't want to be starting with that in this list, it seems. And then we see another very unique list with Nawa series song, Arceus V-Star Gallade Delphox. Yo. Oh yeah, it is running a Kirlia engine to draw cards. Wow, with Gallade and Buddy Catch. Buddy Catch allows you to, of course, fetch a supporter card from your hand instantly into the deck. into your hand, I would mean. So we have Charon Scare, Raihan, Roxanne. All of those are cherry picked by Glade, and of course Kirlia draws to your deck. So instead of relying on B-Barrel for draw power, they opted to go for that Kirlia. And the cool thing is they're playing Magma Basin, so you can discard fire energies and then accelerate them to your bench. They have Radiant Charizard as a swooper because they're also having Choice Belt. And of course, you have the Delphox here to spread. You actually sniped 120 to 2 Pokemon, so that's going to be very cool. So it's pretty much like a mini G-Max Rapid Flow. Taking multiple prize cards against decks that pretty much didn't expect this at all. But now, if you see Fire Energies in Arceus, you might expect a Delphox, so be wary of that. So we have, of course, a high amount of Judge, high amount of Path to the Peak, and then Kirlia to draw yourself up. We have, of course, a Fighting type Gallade, which can definitely help out against decks like Miraidon or opposing Arceus. And there's also Dunsparce to protect your own weakness. So don't slap down Dunsparce and use Gallade, otherwise you'll be a total noob. So because both players, fighting weakness will be shut down that way. But very unique list. I love when unique lists like this come out, and this was only the beginning of the post-rotation format. So next and last is Kyo YOLO with Lost Zone Toolbox, the last deck we're checking out today. Okay, Lost Box. Yeah, the same similar attackers. This list is running Echoing Horn. That's something I noticed immediately here is, the Echoing Horn could come in clutch, definitely with Sableye, but only playing one Sableye. They do play 2 Clara, 4 Escape Rope, 4 Switch Card, 2 Energy Recycler, only one Pokegear, so if they whiff out on Colress's Experiment, it could be very bad news. But they are playing 5 Water-type energies, which I really like because you definitely want to be using that Moonlight Shuriken with Radiant Greninja. Solid list. They also have Roxanne for the mirror match. I respect that. So another Lost Box deck. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a glance on Thailand and Taiwan, the regionals, how it went down. Lost Box, public enemy #1. Lugia seemingly did really well in Taiwan. A little bit less good in Thailand, but there is so many things to see here. Unique decks like a Dialga VSTAR deck. There was the unique Arceus deck with fire energies in there. There's so much room for deck building, and I wonder what's going to be the meta share of EOIC. We do see that Gardevoir is good, Lugia is good. We see that Arceus built with Giratina are very good, and Lost Box also. So a little bit of a glance on the format on how it's going down. Things to note here, no Miraidon EX to be seen anywhere. Is that good or bad news? We don't have a full list of the top 32 decks. It does make sense because Galarian Zapdos is almost in every single Lost Box, so that's what kept Miraidon from doing that great. Also, worth noting, no Mew VMAX. Where are the Mew VMAXs of the world? They got bullied out by Drapions, it seems. So yeah, I wonder how the format will develop further. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways, and go check out our sponsors. Botown Store, the best place for TCGO code cards. They also work for TCG Live. Use the coupon code ZABLOSTCG for 5% off. There's yourplaymat.com to, of course, create your own custom playmat. 10% off by clicking that link down below when creating a custom playmat. There is Dragon Shield for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. Links down below. And there's, of course, CardMarket.com for European players where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZABLOSTCG. Hopefully you find this video a little bit helpful as we run through a couple of regionals that are not from the Western world, but it's going to be nice to have a little bit of insight of what's going to be coming post-rotation here for EOIC is the next tournament on the schedule. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace.